Welcome to Priadan, a land ruled by gods and magic. The gods are on the brink of war, and our heroes have been sent on a quest to cure the corruption plaguing the land. Garden of Genesis is a homebrew Dungeons & Dragons campaign featuring Silfrin as Drake, Nabunan as Emil, Onion JPEG as Prominence, Nemuharu as Uriah, Mr. Indigo as August, Chai Bun as Suhan, Ash Mishi as Ashira, Sayuki as Denmari, and Smattered Stars as the Game Master.
Hello everybody! Welcome in to another session of Garden of Genesis. This is Party 2 featuring Ashi, the Sayu Chai and Indian. I just noticed Sayu and Chai switched spot. I think you guys in the round.
Oh my god. Hi. I'm Denmari. I like money.
Hello, I'm Suhan. I'm shirtless.
Oh my god, it's just like that! Oh, there we go. Now we're with Ashi, Sayu, Chai, and Indian.
Oh, there we go.
Welcome in everybody. Ashi, congrats on being second. Sayu, congrats on being first. Welcome in Amy. Welcome into the lurkers. Welcome in Reto. Welcome in Indy. Welcome in Chai. Fanny-san, thank you so much for gifting us love to Ashi. Ashi, congrats on becoming a comment. And welcome in Rofi. Thank you for the lurk and thank you for the well wishes. Welcome in Hazel. So for those who don't know, Garden of Genesis is a weekly D&D session that we do over here. My name is Sleepy, aka Smash Stars. I'm the DM. We have two parties exploring the world at the same time, and this is Party 2. Party 2 is not played in a month because of scheduling. But we are picking off from a double party split, so this is the first Party 2 session in a while. So it's nice to be back. So I think let's go ahead and get started with fun facts in our usual order, which will be left to right, so starting with Ashi. Actually the order is changed this time because the overlay changed, so it goes Ashi, Sayu, Chai, and Indy. And just a heads up for everybody, Ashi is using TTS today because her voice hurts. So whenever you're ready, Ashi, take your time.
Hello, I'm Ash playing Ashira, and I'm 6, so I'm using TTS. Ash's favorite drink is apple cider.
That's cute. I like that.
It feels fitting.
Sayu!
Hello, I'm Sayu. I'm playing Denmari. Denmari has 2 types of favorite drinks. She likes tea. I would say jasmine tea is her favorite, but that's when she wants to relax. Otherwise, if she's feeling a bit more, I don't know, feisty.
So always?
She likes, spicy. Yes, probably. And she likes a fire whiskey.
Oh my god!
Spicy.
What?
Yeah. Spicy.
As a weapon or to drink?
Who knows what can happen?
As a weapon, took me out.
She just spits on everyone.
Oh my god. Chai.
Chai, Suhan. He really likes refreshing drinks like aloe vera juice or grapefruit juice, but
He's so based.
he likes cozy. He likes cozying up to a fire with hot soy milk a lot. But due to a certain someone's influence, he does like knocking back a couple of shots here and there. Not too much, here and there. Yeah.
It's grandma.
It's grandma.
Granny Annie.
Yeah, great influence.
I love aloe vera juice though. He's vase.
Yeah.
I love the aloe vera juice with the little like cuts of the aloe vera in it.
Oh my god, yes.
Yeah.
So good.
And Indy.
Indy playing August, and August's favorite drink is a blackcurrant wine.
Mm.
Ooh. It feels fitting also.
And instead of an NPC fun fact today, a very important sleepy fun fact, I have adopted a pet rabbit, and his name is Sesame. And right now, he's like up on his hind legs, like grooming himself, and he looks like the quintessential rabbit. And he's like, oh my god, he just, you know the thing they do where they use their hind leg to like kind of kick at their head to groom themselves? He's doing that now. I'm gonna lose my mind.
Yes.
It's a very important sleepy fun fact. Once we start session and people are talking, I'm going to put Sesame pictures in the D&D Discord. So, summary from where we were last time. I'm going to do a very like kind of broad summary because a lot of things happened. But you guys regroup with Party 1 over at Keplos. Watched them get into a deal with the devil. And helped out Trula, basically, the gist of it. You remove like whatever, I guess in a way, the corruption that they were facing. You don't know whether like really what the cause of it was, but the source of their power was depleted, and the druids of the group, Suhana and Nashara, helped to replenish it with nature's energy, and they returned with more power and gave you guys a lot of lore. You found out that Juniper, one of the companions of Party 1, was actually a demigod and the daughter of a Morshio, and that was the reason that she was kind of orchestrating the whole thing. She was not just a disciple of a Morshio. In fact, she did not get along with her mom. And from that, you also found out that it seems like a Morshio has been acting off recently. Juniper has not been in contact with her, but can tell that something is going off with the gods. So the quest you're on seems like kind of from a Morshio, kind of from Juniper, but Trilla basically said, you guys should do what you want, but if you want to help out with the gods, that would be great. And then she gave Donmari a hug. And now you're all on an airship, off to your next location in Osmia. So, where we are right now. You all have set way from Keplos to Osmia. The trip will take about 1 day, and the ship's captain has informed you that you all will be landing in Silverwater Cove, which is a bit south of the main city. It's also home to Osterwald Academy, where August studies. You have some time to pass on your own right now, if anyone would like to do anything, or if the group would like to discuss anything that's happened so far. So, what are you guys like doing right now on the ship?
Drinking.
What are you drinking? Which drink was it? The tea or the...
No, she's not gonna be drunk today.
Another day.
Probably just relaxing, since they don't have to do anything for a few hours.
I think after that whole ordeal, Suhan would also be kind of napping, but still somewhat awake, just to keep an eye on everyone else, make sure they're also okay.
August will be maintaining his armor and kind of tinkering with some of his bits and pieces.
I'm not sure I have enough herbs to make more health potions or not.
You did have time. We didn't RP what you did before Keplos, but I think it's reasonable that Ashera would have stocked up on stuff again.
Yay!
Or I have to bundles.
Oh, perfect. So let me know however much you'd like to make.
To common health potions.
Alright, perfect. You'll definitely be able to do that in the 1 day trip. Alright.
It's 1 day trip.
It's pretty much like, it's not 24 hours, but you guys left in the morning and you'll arrive in the evening, basically.
Got it.
Alright. So, you all leave the northern ocean behind, and your view is filled with rolling green fields with towns interspersed here and there. August off to the side maintaining his off armor, then Mari and Suhan taking a fat nap, and Ashera brewing some potions for the party. You fly over Aplor and the castle with yellow flags waving high. You watch groups of animals cross over the grassland. Finally, as the sun paints the fields orange, you start to see the western ocean. The ship begins to circle around and descend as a bustling town comes into view, Port Silverwater. The airship docks and the crew sets up the ramp for you all. I will need a second to set up the map because apparently I forgot that, but you guys can feel free to say what you're doing while I do that.
I'm sorry, we're near the city or the place where August studied?
Yeah.
We're about an hour from, kind of an hour or two from the like academy itself, but we're in the kind of village on the water.
Suhan asks, oh sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say where you're docked right now, there are a bunch of like other land and airships next to you.
Suhan asks August if he's excited to be back.
It would be nicer to be back under freer circumstances, but it's never bad to be home.
You stayed here. How long did you live here for?
I've been living here for probably 3 or 4 years while I've been studying at the academy.
Oh, and why did you leave? Did you finish your studies?
No, it's a kind of a permanent research position. So I'm here as an indentured scholar.
So we're gonna meet your teachers.
Professors.
Potentially, if they're here. They travel around a lot doing their own kind of research and so on. But hopefully my friends will be here.
Oh my god, friends.
You have friends.
Why is it surprising that I have friends?
I don't know. No reason.
What do you usually do with your friends?
Well, we work or we drink at the tavern in the well, we'll either drink at the tavern at the academy itself, or we'll come into the village and kind of eat and drink there. But we're mostly pretty busy working on things for the most part.
Are y'all hungry?
I would like to
I could eat.
What y'all in the mood for?
What do you recommend, August?
Oh, true.
They do a fish stew here that's very good.
Ooh, interesting. Okay, lead the way, please.
Okay.
All right.
Is the map up?
Yes. You might need to refresh. I think it's a little weird, but you should be there.
Okay.
No, I can see it now.
Okay, perfect. That is.
So I guess
Port
August will lead them to kind of one of the taverns where they make good fish stew.
And is this like somewhere August goes with his friends?
Yeah, time to time.
Okay. Perfect. So, August, you realize as you enter, you look around, you immediately catch sight of a familiar face. For the rest of you, you see a young human man sitting in the corner, sipping some soup. He's got an olive complexion, with gray eyes and dark brown hair cropped close to his head. You notice something flit around his shoulders briefly, before a little face pops up, and you realize he's got a weasel crawling around him as well. He has not seemed to notice you all yet.
I call out Oscar and walk over to him.
He looks up, clearly startled. August? Oh my god. And he is gonna get up and give you, like, a quick somewhat awkward hug. Why, I thought you said you were going to be traveling for a while.
Yes, well, we still are, but our travels are taking us here. You would not believe what we've been dealing with.
I mean, yeah, because you sent us a letter and you were like, yeah, everything's awful and it's not going well. And I'm not coming back for a while. So that was a little concerning. I mean, I hope you updated your teacher on it, of course, right? You did?
Honestly, that didn't occur to me.
August! You were on a trip for your studies, and you said that you couldn't finish the trip for your studies, and you didn't even think to tell your teacher?
Well, he usually just kind of waits for us to have something worth reporting. And my last delve was not that productive, so I didn't really have anything to update him on.
I see.
I thought I'd rather give him good news.
Nothing in your life worth reporting has occurred in the past couple of weeks, surely.
Well, not in relation to my studies, no.
Okay. Well, I hope that it's not interfering with your studies, at least. And he's finally going to, like, look over at the rest of the party, and his, like, face kind of scrunches up. I see you have some new friends. Who are these
These are my
folks?
traveling companions.
I see.
So, allow me to introduce Denmari, Suhan, and Ashera.
Nice to meet you. She does a little bow.
So I'm gonna have
Suhan
him
goes
roll.
and shakes his hand.
He's gonna roll insight really quick as each of you are doing this. So I'm gonna have a roll for Denmari first. He rolled a 15, so despite her polite manner, he's gonna like squint his eyes a little bit. And then he's gonna grab Suhan's hand and give it a firm handshake.
Yep.
And he just gives you a small little smile. And then he's also gonna offer a hand to Ashera. And
You look
I shake it and say hi.
hello. I see that you have found some company. His face continues like scrunching up. Well, as long as whatever you're doing is not interfering with your studies and these people seem very nice, I'm sure that it is all fine. Well, at least I'm glad that you're back home. At least for a bit. We should go see Roy after this
now.
too. But for now?
Yeah, we'll probably have to head off again in not that long.
I see. Well, what are you back in town? Oh, well, first, I assume you all came here for dinner. Why don't you get your food and come here while you update me?
Well, I guess we get our food then.
Yippee, still!
Alright. That's gonna be a gold from each of ya.
Oh.
No.
Then Mari, how much gold do you have? Sayu out of character.
Let me check.
You're gonna say at 100.
I have 141.
I can't believe
That's way
this.
too much for a bowl of stew.
I have 38.
It's probably too much for a bowl of stew, but I cannot be asked to convert stuff to copper and gold, so I just always do stuff with the gold currency.
Do you have a 2-for-1 deal by any chance?
For that, I'm gonna continue a bit from the last session that Indy might know and nobody else will know. So the person manning the tavern is a tiefling with blue skin
no.
and curly blue hair. And their name is Zlo. I'll honey, you want a 2-for-1 deal? We don't got anything for that fish, but we got like a little half and half deal with some of our other soups.
Oh, what's your other soups?
Let's see, we've got some chicken soup, and you can get a little sandwich on the side with that.
Ooh. Does anyone prefer a sandwich over a soup by any chance?
Me.
Perfect.
All right, hon.
Ashera, are you down to get a sandwich and I can get a soup?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do that. We'll take the deal. I'll pay. I'll give you a gold for that.
All right, thank you very kindly. She's gonna get. I believe that Ashera is a vegetarian, so she'll pass over a sandwich with like a soy protein and a bunch of greens and stuff in it for Ashera, and then the chicken noodle soup for Suhan. And then I assume Denmari and August are getting the fish soup.
Is there a drink included, perhaps?
Oh sure, what you want, honey?
Do you...
Fire whiskey. Honey, do we have alcohol? And she'll spread her arms around because you guys are in like a tavern. She's like, of course we do. What you want?
Oh, would you have a fire whiskey?
Oh,
Perchance.
wow, what an interesting combination. I do have that. And she's gonna pour you a big old like mug of it and slide it over. Let me know how that tastes with the fish.
Oh, delicious, I bet.
You're gonna slide on over your guys' food, and I assume you all head back to the table with Oscar. He's, I think his, Indy, remind me, his weasel's name is Eleanor, right?
I think that's right.
Okay, so his weasel is gonna slide off his shoulders and kind of like investigate the people, first kind of going to Ashera and Suhan and bumping her nose against them. Sorry, don't mind her. She likes checking on new people. Her name is Eleanor. She's pretty friendly if you want to hold her or anything. So, August, why don't you catch me up on what's going on? Why are you guys back here? It sounds like it's not for school business.
So you recall I sent you a bunch of questions previously about kind of the gods and their influence in the Great Wars previously. So something is up with the gods, and we don't have a very clear picture yet, but it seems that someone is trying to weaken all of the gods. Possibly one of the gods is behind it. We've been put on this quest by Amorsho, and it's clear that something is up with Amorsho and she's not acting the way that she normally does, but we haven't yet got to the bottom of it. And so all we can really do at the moment is go to kind of a number of major cities to try and find objects that are related to the influence of the gods and kind of try and fix whatever weakness or problem there is. But we don't have a ton to go on.
He kind of makes like another like face as you're speaking, specifically when you say that it's Amorsho doing stuff. Well, I know that when we talked about the Great War, what the professors had said, what my mentor had said is that perhaps there had been sides to it, but the idea of a single god going after all the others sounds quite preposterous. I mean, of course, I'm not saying I don't believe you, but this is quite an odd situation. But it sounds like you're doing good work. It sounds like you're doing very important work.
Well, we did just... someone had harmed Trilla, and we met with her recently and were able to help.
His eyes bug
She was
out his
saying
head.
he-
Wait. When you say you met with someone, you met with the god?
Oh yeah. Demari, do you want to talk about it? I mean, you're the cleric.
Oh, yeah. It's nothing really. Trilla is really in touch with her believers, you know. If you're ever interested in converting, let me know. I'll get you. I'll help you out.
She'll put in a good word for you.
Yeah.
Nothing. This is like the fact. Well, you're saying that you're a believer, and I do understand that, but I know August at least is not a follower of Chula, and I assume it seems like the rest of you aren't either. So this is quite surprising that a god would manifest themselves right now at a time when the gods seem to be quite astray from us, but also in front of people who are not even their believers.
Honestly, it's not even the weirdest thing that's happened in the last 3 weeks.
What do you mean?
Like, I could go on for like days about the town that was turned into like Burger King country.
Oh my god. I
What?
forgot that happened.
It's too long a story and probably not worth talking about. Remind me to tell you about it later.
He's like he
God
got his
stuff is
head
more
in his
pressing.
hands. He's so confused. Okay, well, we should definitely catch up more. But yes, it sounds like these matters are quite pressing. And of course, while you're here, if there's anything I can help you with, please feel free. And I'm sure Callista, to the rest of y'all, Callista is my mentor. Will be on board to help you on. We can go see your mentor and. I mean, we should definitely tell the headmistress about what's going on.
Well, I don't know how much attention I want the headmistress to have over this. Like, I mean, it's not my best work.
But I don't think this is your fault. Sorry, the laugh was sleepy. Not my best work got me. Well, August, first of all, whatever is happening is not your fault, and there are clearly big things at play, and you can't just deal with this on your own. We need to make sure that people know. I mean, the headmistress is like work she does with the gods and magic history and stuff like that. I'm sure that her insight would be of great help, and also, most importantly, I feel like it's I suppose, but your duty. Not to impose on you, but I think it's important that you get the best help possible when it seems like the world is at stake.
I mean, what you're saying makes sense, but I don't even know what questions we'd be asking at this point. I mean, I suppose our immediate concern is whether there's, we've been told that we need to go to Osmia. Are you aware of anything that's connected to one of the gods in Osmia?
No, not particularly. But that could be a question that she might know. If you're not comfortable asking her, we can at least do some research in the library. I'm sure we'll find something of some sort. But at the least, I do think we should tell the headmistress at least if something so serious is going on. It seems that they'd want like the best minds working at this.
I'm not sure involving a lot of people is the way.
I agree.
It was kind of implied to us that if we spread this too much, then there may be fatal consequences for us.
Implied by
But
who?
I think Amorsho.
You met two gods?
Yeah, we met Amorsho first, actually.
What
kind of
are
why
you
we're in this whole
saying?
mess.
Wait, are you saying a god sent you on a quest?
Well, she implied that we would be killed if we didn't go on the quest. So I suppose the answer is yes.
Oh my god. She... He's gonna like...
Yeah, that's what I said too.
He's gonna like take a pause and just take a huge drink of water.
Suhan goes and pats him on the back.
Thank you. This is
Do you
all.
want fire whiskey?
Oh no, thank you. It's a school night, so I can't drink. Well, whatever you all choose, I will respect it. Of course, this is your mission, and you know best what the gods have asked of you. But if you need any assistance, of course, as a follower of the gods, and also most importantly as a friend of August, please let me know if you would need any assistance.
I mean, we could probably use your help to do some research. I mean, the stuff that you sent me already was quite useful, but I don't think it goes to the problem that we currently have.
Yeah, I think definitely now that I have some more context, there are a few more titles that come to mind that might be able to give us some more insight. And if you're comfortable, I can vaguely ask Callista about some of the things you've told me about.
It sounds like a good idea.
Alright. So, what is your all's plan for tonight? It's starting to get dark out. Are you staying somewhere?
Hadn't thought that far ahead, actually.
So, by
I've
any
got
chance, could you help us with that?
Well, I actually was going to bring this up, later. Well, I was going to offer that August and Suhan at least could stay at my dorm. I assume the ladies could find a place to stay at the campus's keep, or an inn if not, but
Well, there's
this-
the room that I rent. It's not very big, but if I stay with Oscar and Suhan, then they can probably stay there overnight.
Yes, that sounds like an excellent idea. I also, the reason I bring that up, the reason why I was in Silverwater in the first place is I actually was looking for adventurers today, yet it was a little bit dry for availability. I've been having a problem at night in my dorm, and I guess you're an adventurer now, August, so perhaps you can help, or your friend Suhan, perhaps you could help as well, but I have a feeling that there's some kind of ghost or antagonistic spirit that's haunting my dorm, and I'd rather not pay the money for an exorcism from the church. So I was hoping that if there was an antagonistic being, that an adventurer could possibly just remove it for me. So that would also be a great help for me if you're willing to stay the night.
Works. Be nice to have something non-godly to do for a while.
Excellent. All right. Well, once you all are finished eating, let's head back. And he's gonna warily look at the fire whiskey and Tenmari's checking.
Go, go, go.
Exactly like that. So is August's dorm, because I remember you said that a lot of the scholars lived off campus. Does he live on the campus in the keep?
No, he lives in the town in a little one-room cottage on a farm somewhere.
Okay.
Just renting the place.
Okay. For simplicity's sake, let's say that Oscar lives somewhere near there as well, just so the parties are too separated. So we'll say kind of on the outskirts of town is where you all head after you're finished eating. So first, I assume August can lead the way to his room to drop off Denmar and Ashera, maybe grab anything that you might want.
I don't know if there's anything in particular in August's house. It's there's bits of loose metal and junk and tools and things laid out everywhere, and it's kind of messy, but in an organized way where stuff is kind of piled up in kind of particular areas with the bed off to one side and so on.
Okay. So, August, as you pass through to like kind of set up the sleeping areas for Denmar and Ashera, you kind of feel like a chill down your spine. And like kind of in the way just as if you've like suddenly entered a cold space, and just as quickly as it happens, it passes, and your living accommodations seem normal otherwise that little brief moment. So you're able to set up a sleeping area, and Denmari and Ashera, if you'd like, you're able to get settled.
Can I cast Detect Magic?
Yes.
Because I'm put off by the cold
Yes.
feeling.
So you do that, and unless you have anything magical you've set up here, you don't detect anything.
Okay.
Alright. So, then Oscar, August, and Suhan, with Oscar leading the way, you head about like a 5-ish minute walk away to another like kind of one-room cottage that is Oscar's little home. And he opens the door and lets you all in. As he does, he kind of shivers a little. And Suhan and August, you get August the same feeling. And Suhan, now you also feel a little chill go down your spine and a brief moment of cold as you step inside. Oscar's accommodations are very tidy. He's got a stack of books on his desk. He's got a stack of paper, some with notes on it, some clean, fresh paper. His bed is neatly made with one little stuffed toy on it. And there's not very much other decorations besides that. He's going to head inside, set up some blankets and pillows for you two to sleep for the night, and then I assume you all go to bed, unless there's anything you'd like to talk about before then.
Think so.
I asked him about what.
sorry, go
I
ahead.
asked Oscar what his like what makes him think that there's a bad spirit or whatever here. Like what has he noticed that makes him think that it's being haunted?
Well, the past like week I've been having trouble sleeping, and I just thought it was because of school, you know how it is. But it's just that I've been waking up in the middle of the night and I'm like in a cold sweat. Like I've just run a mile. Like that's how much I'm sweating. But I feel uncomfortable with it too. Like it's not just that I had a nightmare, and if I did, I never remember it. It's just like an uncomfortable feeling. And now and then I feel like someone was like in my room. Like, isn't like big things are out of place, but like some of my papers will be moved a little bit. Last night I left a light on and that was gone by the time I woke up in the middle of the night. And I don't know, I get a bad feeling, and I don't know the way to identify these types of spirits or ghouls or things like that, so I just wanted to make sure, really, that nothing was wrong.
Should we take shifts staying awake to see if anything happens?
That might be a good idea, but I assume you mean for the two of you. I don't think I'd be much help if I'm staying awake.
Well, I'm happy to take first watch.
Alright. Suhan, are you good with that?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay. So, August, you sit up. Oscar has lit a lamp that flickers lightly as Suhan and Oscar drift off to sleep. And that lamp is quite a dim light, but it's enough for you to see around. And you're up for a couple hours before you kind of feel that cold chill down your spine again. And I forgot to get you music for this, so give me 1 second. This is the problem with having to screen share the music because it's very obvious what the vibes are from just the title. So, August, you feel a little bit of that chill down your spine again, and the brief moment of cold kind of overtaking your body before it disappears again.
I don't wake the others up just yet, but I kind of look around and I have Francis and Hobart kind of look around as well, or keep alert.
Francis, specifically, Hobart is looking around everywhere, but Francis is staring at something, or if it is something that's right in front of you.
I telepathically ask Francis what she sees.
She kind of looks at you and tilts her head as if she's not completely sure. Person. Human? Man.
I kind of wave my arms in front of me, seeing if I can feel anything there.
You feel something cold, like a mist over your arms. And then, in your head from Francis, like you.
Like me.
Human man like you.
I ask who's there.
You hear kind of a whisper pass through the air, and give me a perception check to see how well you can hear it.
I assume that's me specifically, and I can't use. Oh, actually, that just realized something, but it's fine. Perception. $14. Oh, and no, never mind.
Okay. With a 14, I am going to say it like how August would hear it. And then Indy will hear what Indy hears. I hear boy. That's what you hear.
I kind of reach out to Oscar and Suhan's bed and like kind of shake it to try and wake them.
Okay. Oscar immediately flies up. Does Suhan wake up?
Suhan wakes up.
I say, there's something here. There's a presence.
Oscar's like gonna grip your hand.
I will use the like my familiar sight thing. So I'll August can't see out of his own eyes, but he can see what Francis is seeing.
Okay. You see the ghostly spectral figure of your father standing in front of you. He's kind of
Dad?
bent down on his knees and he's patting your head. And he startles when you say Dad, and a smile immediately crosses his face. He opens his mouth and you kind of hear very vague whispers, but you can't tell what he's saying.
I can't understand you. It's too faint, too weak.
He frowns and tries to like reach out for your shoulder, trying to put a hand on it, but it just passes through. And he tries to say something again, but you notice that his image is starting to get fainter.
Dad, do you know that you're dead?
He nods.
What are you trying to show us?
He points out the window, and what you can see is the northeastern road that leads to the university.
Do we need to go now?
He shakes his head, like, aggressively. And he's starting to get more and more and more transparent. It looks like he's about to fade any moment.
How are you here?
He gives a little shrug, and that's the last thing you can see before he fades off into air.
Okay, I'll snap my vision back to my own and say, Francis could see it. It looked like the ghost of my dad.
Oh my god.
He was pointing up the road that leads to the university.
August, are you okay?
August is like too preoccupied with deciphering it to really have like properly emotionally engaged with what he just saw. He's kind of he's too into like problem solve mode.
Okay. What did he say? He said the road?
He said he wanted to show us the road. He said that we didn't need to go now. In fact, he was very insistent that we didn't go now. But he was pointing up the road to the university.
Okay. Maybe something is wrong on the way to the university, or something's wrong at the But why would your dad be in my room?
That's a good question. Probably should have asked that. But I couldn't really hear what he was saying.
That's it. I guess ghosts are real, maybe? I don't know, this is confusing. I think the immediate thing I think too is that must have been a real ghost, especially if we couldn't see it, and Francis could have, because Francis is a type of, like, well, they're, like, she's real, but she's, like, from,
She's
like,
celestial.
yeah. So that's immediately what I think. But I don't know. I mean, I don't want to be a downer. How do we, like, really know that was your dad and not some kind of apparition or something?
No, you raise a good point. But at least gives us a lead, I suppose.
Yes.
I think this is the first time Suhan hears that August's father is not alive, so he kind of is just listening and giving August space to speak.
Okay. Well, if it helps, we can definitely go to the university tomorrow to see if we can figure out what your dad meant.
Yeah. Let's do that.
Okay.
Hopefully if we can solve this mystery, then you'll be able to sleep through the night again.
Thank you. But also, more importantly, if your dad came all the way to show you something, it clearly must be important. So let's do it for him too. So does August want to stay up or switch off with somebody, or does everybody want to go to bed now?
August will switch off, but he will leave Francis there and kind of tell her to kind of wake him by effectively shouting telepathically into his head if he needs to wake up.
Okay. So Suhan, you
Suhan. Is there a certain time we're waking up at?
Dawn, I assume.
Yes. So your shift
Sounds
will be
good.
like a couple hours, basically.
All right. We'll be up for then.
Okay. Suhan, you sit up, and before Oscar goes to bed, he relights the lamp that was whisked away at the same time as August's father faded. He relights it, and you, similar to August, sit up for quite a bit in the warm glow. And after a bit, you feel a chill down your spine and cold air against your face. Francis is immediately going to shout in August's head, "Up, up, up."
Okay, August wakes and then does his vision swap thing again.
Okay. Jai, describe to me what Suhan's grandfather looked like.
He was known for his warm smile. He's bald and a little bit large, and he would usually wear colors such as beige, something very neutral. He would have a cane on him, and he liked eating pomegranates and nuts with Granny Annie a lot. And Suhan remembers he was not a man of many words, but would kind of show love with his body a lot and through his actions.
So, August, you see a human man sitting cross-legged in front of Suhan, kind of a spectral image similar to your father, kind of like light blue, almost transparent, flickering in and out. He's splitting open a pomegranate, and he's taking out the seeds very methodically. And laid in front of him are 4 cards, and he's placing a seed on each one of them.
Are the cards like real cards or like spectral?
Spectral.
Okay, well, I'll say, Chai, there's a man sitting in front of you putting fruit seeds on cards. Can you see anything?
Can I?
No. You feel like the cold air and like you're having goosebumps, but you don't see anything.
Oh, well, I tell August I cannot see anything. But can I do a perception check?
Yeah.
Hey.
Ooh, nice. 24. Okay. With a 24, I would say briefly for a moment, and from August's end, you see the spectral image like flicker brighter for a moment. And in that same moment, Suhan, you manage to catch a glimpse of this person, and you can tell they're your grandfather before he flickers out again. You can also hear a light humming when he flickers in, as if he's singing a song to himself.
I let August know that I saw my grandpa for just a split second.
You mean like a bald guy sitting in front of you?
Yeah. Was he eating pomegranates by any chance? Those were his favorite.
Yeah, he was picking the seeds out of a pomegranate and putting them on like cards laid in front of him. Do you know what that means?
The cards don't really ring a bell or mean much to me, but no, but that definitely is my grandpa. That's strange.
I wonder if it's the same entity that appeared as my dad, or if there are 2 separate ghosts. Try speaking to it.
Speaking to my grandpa?
Yeah.
Oh. Grandpa, I'm back. Can I have some pomegranate seeds, please?
The ghost immediately is going to look up and give Suhan a smile, and he's going to pick out some seeds and hold it out in front of him. And Suhan doesn't see it, but August does.
He's holding something out to you.
Oh, yay! Is it the seeds?
Yeah, I think so.
Perfect. Can you guide my hand so I could pick it up, please?
Okay. August will try and do it, but he's watching himself in third person, trying to go and hide.
Roll dexterity.
No.
You're just like waving his hand around and it's not like working too good. But eventually his grandfather like manages to like move his hand and connect them too. And Suhan, actually, as you turn your hand up, you find 4 pomegranate seeds sitting in the palm of your hand.
Yep. Thank you, Griffin. So, what you doing here? Haven't seen you in like years.
He continues humming to himself as he's placing more seeds on the cards.
Oh wait. August is he doing anything?
No, he's just putting seeds on cards.
Seeds on cards. What kind of cards are they?
So, August, I think Frances will hop a little closer so you can get a good view. And she's kind of like next to his knee now and looking over. And you can see in full detail 4 tarot cards. The first is the Lovers, and he puts 6 seeds down on that. The next one is the High Priestess, and he puts 2 seeds down on that one. The third one is the Moon, and he's put 18 seeds on that one. And the last one is the King, and he's put... I don't remember which... the Emperor, and he's put 4 seeds down on that one.
I'm assuming August has relayed this information.
Yeah, August will say that they're tarot cards and kind of effectively just read out what you just said. Like, there's a Lover's card with 6 seeds, High Priestess with 2 seeds, Moon with 18, Emperor with 4. Do you know anything about tarot? Did your grandfather ever do tarot?
No, he's not very religious. Especially, wait, I don't even remember if he was or not. But, no, and unfortunately I don't know how to... Never mind, he was very religious, so maybe he was into tarot card reading. Unfortunately, I don't know much about it. Do you know how to read cards by any chance?
I don't, but certainly someone at the academy will know.
Perfect. Well, don't know what other information we can get.
Oscar's like also sitting up and he's kind of squinting as he thinks. There's 4 cards and there's 4 of you, right? Because the reason I think that immediately is, at least with the High Priestess, your friend is a cleric, right? And he doesn't know about Suhan yet. And August, you remind me of a little bit of the Emperor, right? Like a strong, stable kind of thing, maybe. Then maybe the other 2 are the rest of you.
I mean, that's possible, I suppose. So that Suhan might be the Moon?
Yeah.
And Ashi the Lovers?
But, the more I think about it, I don't think the Emperor fits you, August. Maybe I'm wrong. I guess it's just like the High Priestess. I thought High Priestess and you've got the Lady Cleric on your team, so...
Yeah, maybe we need to ask someone what the cards represent.
Yeah, I think
Well,
I'd rather
this
wait until
tomorrow.
we have someone who's like really knowledgeable about it before thinking too much on it.
Oscar's going to start coughing suddenly, and he's kind of like smacking
Oh my
at
God.
his chest, and he's just like coughing aggressively, like a dry, awful cough.
Oscar, are you okay?
He just keeps coughing for a while.
Would a doctor be up by any chance this time?
If you ran
I don't even
into
know where we.
town, maybe. I think Hobart's gonna land on his back and kind of try to like hop.
Headbutt it.
Yeah. Hobart, get the clock. No. And then eventually Oscar's gonna try to like grab at something in his mouth, and he's going to pull out another card, and it is
Oh my God.
the Magician. And he's gonna flip it over, and he seems very bewildered. This is not a spectral card; it's a real card.
Wait, where did he pull it from?
His mouth.
His
He
throat.
like coughed it up.
For a second, I thought Oscar was just joking and he was making all of it up. He's a magician. Oh, that's crazy.
Attached to it is one pomegranate seed, kind of stuck right in the middle.
I take it and eat it.
Feed or the card?
I asked August if my grandpa's still there and what he's doing during this time.
What does August see?
The grandpa's there, but he's starting to fade away a little bit. Sorry, give me 1 second. Sesame is trying to climb out of his cage. Okay, I have diverted him. You see him, he's still eating the pomegranate seeds, but he's starting to fade away a little bit like your father had been.
He's fading. I think he's told us everything that he wants to tell us.
Perfect. Okay. I think Grandpa proceeds and they tell him I love him and miss him.
He opens his mouth after you say you love him. You don't hear anything, but August, you can see him mouthing the words back.
Yippee.
How long until dawn do we think?
I'd say at least 2 more hours.
Well, I don't know August will bother going back to sleep for 2 hours.
Suhan is the same.
Okay. Can you guys hear me from here?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So Oscar is going to go back to sleep. And as you two stay up, have you like switched your sight off from Francis, August?
Yeah, once the Suhan's grandfather has disappeared, he'll click back to his own vision.
Okay. After a little bit, you see like Oscar kind of shift in his sleep, and then in your head from Francis, man, boy, human.
Okay, snapping it back on.
You see a figure over Oscar's bed, and you can kind of tell Francis's confusion. He looks like either a very young adult or an older teenage boy. He's got long, messy hair to his shoulders. He's wearing a student's uniform, and he's just standing over Oscar's bed, frowning. He seems a lot stronger than the other spectral figures that have visited you.
I call out to it,
He turns around and stares at you. And he opens his mouth, and for once, you hear him. Suhan, you don't hear it, but it seems like... Well, I don't know if Francis can get auditory... You can get Francis's auditory stuff, but for the sake of this...
I can, but it...
Okay.
So I can get Francis's hearing and sight.
Okay, excellent. You're gonna hear... Who are you? Wait.
I'm August.
Yes, I know you. Who is the other one?
My companion.
Who?
Who are you first? What are you doing to my friend?
That's my brother.
Oscar's your brother. I didn't know Oscar had a brother.
He doesn't talk about me much. A long time ago, he was my little brother.
I'll shake Oscar awake.
Oscar's gonna get up with a start, and as soon as he wakes up, the ghost is gonna disappear.
Oscar, there was a ghost at a figure like the others, but stronger. I could hear him this time. He said he was your brother.
Oh. Oh. What?
But when I woke you up, he vanished.
I'm sure you must have just been seeing things, August. We've all been up really late. It was probably something else.
Really, Oscar? I mean, we've just seen 2 of them this evening, and you don't think that you think a third is unlikely?
I'm not saying that there wasn't a third. I'm just saying it probably wasn't that. I doubt it was that.
Do you have a brother? Or I suppose I should ask, did you have a brother?
Why did you have to correct it like that? I did have a brother before.
What happened?
I don't know, but he's not with us anymore. So.
Well, no, he just disappeared.
August. That's fucking insane from August. That's fucking crazy. Oh my god.
I don't think it was trying to harm you.
Okay.
But unfortunately, when you woke up, it disappeared.
Well, it didn't give us any new information. So we should focus on the first 2 things that we saw. I mean, if it's just what you said it was, I doubt that he's going to cause any trouble. So that resolves that. Anyway, we have stuff to solve for tomorrow, so we should focus on that.
Yeah. Let's keep this one on the list of things to solve.
Mm-hmm. I mean, he's gonna lay back down with a very stiff back and in cartoons where they pull the blanket up to their chest and then for some reason they put their arms on the outside just straight against their body. He does that very mechanically. He just stares up at the ceiling for the rest of the night. Hold on one second. And now it's morning time! The sun breaks over the horizon, and Denmari and Ashera wake to a lovely morning full of bright light and birds chirping, and August, Zuhan, and Oscar lay awake for the past 3 hours having confronted the horrors.
Okay.
Do they meet up?
I think we need to go and update Denmari and Ashera on what we saw.
August, I'll meet you guys back at the university, and you guys can just regroup and see me there.
Okay, we'll catch up there.
All right. So then, August and Suhan, you guys can head back to August's cottage to catch up with Denmari and Ashera.
Wow, what a great morning.
Good morning, everyone. How did you guys sleep? I slept great. Never slept better in my life.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. We had a night.
Right?
We saw some ghosts of sorts.
No, you believe
saw-
in that.
My dad as a ghost, Suhan's grandfather as a ghost, and apparently Oscar's brother as a ghost. And they're directing us to my dad was directing us to the university, and Suhan's grandfather was doing something with tarot cards.
Tarot cards. You believe in that too?
Well, I mean, it can't be that much weirder than drawing from a deck of gacha cards and getting hunted by demons.
Not wrong.
Then Mari might know how to read them.
Oh. Do I know how to read them?
You would, as a disciple of Trilla, do you, Sayu, as a person, know how to?
Not really, no.
Okay. What I'm going to do, so it's not just me telling you, I'm gonna just send you the guide I like of the major arcana cards, and you can take a look and kind of say what Denmari would gather from them.
Okay. What were the cards?
I have them
there was-
listed in the muted chat. If it
Oh,
helps.
I see.
There was the Lovers, the High Priestess, the Moon, the Emperor, and the Magician. And they all had a different number of pomegranate seeds attached to them. So the Lovers had 6, High Priestess had 2, Moon had 18, Emperor had 4, and Magician had 1.
I know what it means in terms of money, but let me try to.
That's so real. Okay, real quick, out of character, I need to sit with Sesame for a second, but you guys feel free to keep talking. I can hear you.
Do we know if they were upright or
They were all
anything, just the
upright.
numbers? Okay.
Then Mari only knows how to read wealth fortunes. She reads her own all the time.
Exactly. I know if I'm about to get scammed or not. My money. So we can start with the Lovers. Lovers had 6. I don't know what the number means. Number of seeds. I'm not sure what that means.
So, you know the numbers correspond to the number order they are in the major arcana.
Oh.
So the Lovers is the
I
6th card, for example.
Okay, so it doesn't mean anything else.
Yes. I think that's what Denmari would
Okay.
understand from it.
Okay. Thank you. Well, I think the Lovers is pretty self-explanatory. It's just a card that represents love union, romance, relationship, and soulmates. I'm not reading
Could it be a reference to a more show?
Might be. That is true. It could be. It might be a more show. Or there were 5 cards, so it might be each one of us. Then the High Priestess. It might be gods though. I see what you mean. The High Priestess is mystery, higher power, thirst for knowledge, desirability. Priestess possesses intuition, mystery, and sensuality, combined with common sense.
I mean, knowledge seeking and High Priestess sounds like it could be describing you.
Me?
Oh, I was thinking
Common
August.
The common
Yeah,
sense part. Well, then Mark wouldn't say that, but oh yes, probably. But I think it might describe August. You guys can read with me. That will be quicker because I'm a bit slow. For the moon. The moon signifies that everything is not as it seems. It's a card of intuition. I think it's probably telling us to follow our intuition. Amortio, maybe follow our intuition with the moon card. I don't know what the High Priestess means, but the moon also indicates that you should pay attention to your dreams. Have you guys had any interesting dreams recently?
Other than the appearance of those spirits last night? No, not really.
It can also represent a woman's menstrual cycle. Ashera, how you doing?
I'm gonna just say that's not what I was referencing.
Oh, okay, I see. Well,
I'm good.
Unfortunate.
The Emperor? The Emperor represents an older man who is good in business and usually wealthy. That sounds like me.
Hey, Murray, you're an older man?
Surely.
Well,
The vibes are definitely of that.
I'm an older woman.
She is
I don't
like
know how
41, right? I think you said she was.
Yeah, I think so.
Because of like
How
the...
old is August?
August is only 31.
Oh yeah, she's the oldest.
Oh my god.
He's a powerful, grounded protector, but also can be rigid and stubborn. A father figure. If the Emperor Tarot cards appears in a past... Oh, no, that doesn't... no. The Emperor signifies the dominance of logic over emotion and of the mind over the heart. It signifies that concentration, structure, stability, and focus is required. Or the Emperor upright can represent fatherhood. You guys said you saw your dad, right? August, and your
Yeah.
grandpa.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be related. And the magician.
Magician was strange because it got coughed up.
When the magician appears in a tarot card reading, it is a sign that you have all the skills and abilities you need to be successful. The universe is aligning to bring positive changes your way. So I think instead of relating to all of us, it might be just a sign,
Mm-hmm.
something we need to do. The lovers would represent Amorcio. High Priestess might represent true love, but I'm not convinced on that.
Or Juniper, maybe? What if the lovers is Amorcio and High Priestess is Juniper?
The High Priestess card means... Well, okay, when the High Priestess appears in a tarot reading, she indicates that now is the time to trust your instincts and go with your gut feeling. She possesses intuition, mystery, sensuality, and common sense. It might I don't know.
It's very vague.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The moon.
Stop.
The moon haunts you.
The moon. The moon represents. It shows that everything is not as it seems. So what I'm getting from all of this is that we need to follow our intuition, and we're ready to do whatever is going to happen. But I don't understand why your family was related and all of that.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if it was actually our family or if it was just something that was taking the form of our family.
There is the Emperor card, which makes sense for like a father figure, all that.
Well, the spectral version of my dad indicated that we should head to the university, or at least up the road to the university. So that's what we figured we would do today, if that works for all of us.
Yep.
I think it does.
Oscar said he'd meet us there.
All right. Can you guys hear me from here?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So, after getting ready, and eating some of your rations for breakfast and anything else August might have in his cottage, you all make way to... I forgot I have to change the map. Give me 1 second. Hold on, I'm climbing out of a 3-foot tall cage right now. You all head up one of the main roads And after about an hour's walk, you... Oops. I think I might have accidentally deleted the map.
Oh no.
Oh my
It's
god,
okay.
what's happened to Osterwelt Academy?
It lives in our heads.
It's covered in snow.
I see it.
There we go. You all arrive at Osterwelt Academy. August, would you like to describe what the academy looks like?
There's like a kind of large central main tower, a smaller tower off to the side, and then there's like a kind of rectangular keep building where kind of the utilities are. And it's all sort of within a big gated community with a single main gate with guards.
Alright. You arrive at the university. There are a few students milling about and none of them really pay you any mind. Where would you all like to go?
I guess we should go to the main library. I figure that's where Oscar might be.
Okay, and the main library is one of the floors of the big tower, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, several floors of the big tower, but yes.
Alright. Are you okay describing to me what it's like walking up into the library?
Sure, like it'll just be there'll be a big opening hall at the bottom of the main tower with like staircases up the side, and then kind of you walk up, and then it's just kind of 3 stories connected by staircases with just shelves and shelves and shelves of books and scrolls and stuff, with various people milling around reading through things with like at desks or tables.
And then, so I can remember, is what you told Oscar just like kind of like the vague information about something happening with the gods, or did you like fill him in on like all the information you got from Chula?
I assume we give him all of the information that we have.
Okay. So you'll find him in one of the sections that are on chronoplanar magic. And he's got a stack of books next to him, and he waves you all over once he catches sight of you.
How are you doing, Oscar?
The research is going well. So, I mean, first, one of the things I wanted to look at was the time stuff you all talked about time being frozen and stuff. Obviously that's Callista. You all don't know. Callista is my mentor, and she specializes in chronoplanar magic, which is basically time magic. So I went to talk to her this morning, just vaguely a bit. One thing that especially caught me off guard and that I talked to her about is that there's kind of like a weird connection with the gods and chronoplanar magic. When Callista uses chronoplanar magic, like when she can go back in time, maybe like by a day or so, but she can only take herself with her. So also hearing that the gods stop time for so many people was startling. I mean, I know they're gods, so they must be so powerful. I guess it put into perspective that it was the scale of it, because Callista is powerful and has years of study in time travel and still can only manage that much while maintaining the balance of the forces. But I talked to her, and she has told me a bit that when she's using time magic, there's another professor that complains that it kind of makes their ability to use magic hazy, and she also says magic users that connect their power to gods or some other divine being usually can't use time magic. So like clerics and paladins usually can't manage to use it because it draws on, her guess is, the divine godly force.
Wouldn't that make it easier for them to use it?
Well, I think the problem is that the time magic, like, it creates a cloud over people's connection with the divine.
I assume that if a god can stop time, no one would notice, right?
I suppose so. It seems that way, at least from what you said.
Even the other gods wouldn't notice?
Well, I didn't think to ask that, but I think that goes to another bit of things that I was researching. Well, there's a lot of thoughts I have. Let me go through them one by one real quick. So, what I thought about the time magic, first of all, Callista told me that one of the other professors doesn't like when she uses time magic, but she feels like it clouds her connection with the gods. And also, for Callista to use time magic, she can only, like, you know, the connection between space-time, she can only control a small bit of space herself, really. So other people don't know she's gone back in time and she can't really bring them with her if it's like a whole day. Maybe if it's an hour or something, she could bring other people. So there's a connection there. And the reason I bring it up is when the gods like froze time, I imagine that since they were freezing time on such a large scale, they probably had to focus on the people and not the buildings. So that would explain why there's still some ruins across Priodan of like the old gods or where they used to live and stuff. They probably prioritized the places where there were people currently living, or maybe even grouped people up so it was easier to control them. Well, freeze them. And because of that thing, like all these factors of using time magic clouds connections with the gods, clerics and paladins can't even use the magic. I wonder if it like caused some harm to the gods when they did it. You all were talking about some kind of corruption. If there was a place it was born from the information that we have now, I could imagine it being from there if we already know that time magic has some effect on divine energies or connections. And then I think the thing you asked me was, would other gods realize if time was frozen? I don't know that, and I didn't think to ask. But one of the books I was reading, he's gonna hold up a book that's talking about the planes and realms of existence. So, you all know, planes of existence are like sections of reality. Each of them have their own rules. And then realms are different places within the planes. So, we know for sure that the gods live in a different realm than us, but there's always been some debate as to whether they've been from the material plane, our plane, or another plane. And there's some theories, and one that Callista talked about with me a long time ago, and I was trying to read up on it again, is that our plane kind of collided with another one that allows the gods to experience and do some different things than we're bound to. And that also explains the existence of two different kinds of magic with different rules and laws, because they're from different planes. So because of that, I mean, I don't know if time works the same for them as us. And yes, so basically I don't know, but there could be a possibility that they don't experience time like we do.
This is all good information, but I suppose it still doesn't answer what we need to do next. It also doesn't explain what we saw last night.
What did you guys figure out from the tarot cards?
Well, Damari was saying that each of the cards has a sort of conceptual meaning, but they're quite vague. We can't really make any kind of specific conclusions from them.
I see. What, did you all think they were representative of you or something else?
It's hard to say. Some of them could be representative of us, or they could be kind of sending us a message of, like, kind of conveying a message of some kind, that things are not as they seem and we need to trust our intuition, and that we have the things that we need to solve whatever problem we're trying to solve.
Well, that does sound like good, well, I was going to say that sounds like good guidance, but I don't know, that just sounds like look on towards yourself and the answer will be found. But that doesn't really help much, does it?
Not
So
for
what
present
you're
purposes,
saying-
no.
Grandpa could have been more clear.
I know.
You said my ghost was talking properly, right?
Yeah, unlike the others, I could actually hear what he was saying.
Maybe tonight you all can try to talk to him again. He might be able to say something more specific. I don't know.
Or we could dig up his grave.
What are you saying?
Ooh.
Why would you suggest such a thing? Why are you actually
Because-
interested?
Because I can speak with the dead.
You don't need to dig up graves for that, and also I won't allow it.
I need a corpse. Oh, that's
You're
that's
not
different,
accessing his
sorry.
corpse. August, what is this? What are your friends even saying?
I mean, I was just suggesting another possibility.
That was a suggestion in completely poor taste. I don't know why you would say such a thing.
August will make eye contact with Denmar. August will make eye contact with Oscar and kind of like shrug and kind of indicate, yeah, this is what it's like.
He's gonna like splutter and then like massage his forehead. Like he's gonna put a hand on his hip and like massage his forehead in the quintessential tired mom pose. Oh my god. Well. For some of the other questions you have, I'm sure there's some professors that'd be able to help us, but I don't know. I asked Callista what I could, and then we could talk to other professors if you're comfortable. We could find some classmates to talk to them for us, or we could just try and figure this out on our own. But at the least, I think we should tell the headmistress that something seems to be going on. She should really be in the know.
I suppose you're right. We should probably tell her something at least.
Yeah, at least, even if it's vague, she should know if something's going to be happening at the university. That's what your father seemed to be implying.
Yeah, maybe we can ask if anything unusual has been happening.
Okay. He's gonna snap one of his books shut. Shall we go there now?
Yeah, let's go.
Alright. August, lead the way.
Okay, so we'll head to the headmistress's office, I suppose.
Alright. You all climb up the stairs. From my memory, the headmistress's office is at the top of the tower, right?
I don't think I specified, but
Okay.
it's probably actually presumably somewhere near the library.
Okay. Okay. So you all take the staircases up and go down a long hallway. Along the side are portraits of all the headmasters of the past. Various people coming from different backgrounds, different races, until you reach two double doors, ornately decorated, with a label next to it stating that it is the office of Vitrumina Pol.
I guess we knock on the door.
There's a moment's pause and then, yes? Who is it?
Headmistress Pol, we have some questions for you that we were hoping that you could assist us with.
There's another pause for a bit, and then the doors are going to swing inwards. And you all see a round circular office. First, you see the big desk hewn out of wood with ornate engravings in it, and the woman sitting behind it. She is a human woman with pale skin and gray hair with traces of the brown that it used to be. She's got bright green, sharp eyes. She's wearing ornate dark green robes, and she's got her hands over some kind of wall with some mist rolling off it. You can see for a moment your own visages before she waves her hand and it disappears. August, I forgot Oscar's. That was sleepy. August, Oscar, and some company. Come in.
Okay, I guess we walk in.
And can you describe? You said our familiar is a pseudo dragon. What is a pseudo dragon?
It's kind of like it's probably easy for me to just show a picture. I think it's like a small kind of dragon lizard thing.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, so as you guys sit down, a little dragon whips around all of you a couple times before settling on a book next to her on the desk. Oh, I could tell you've all come here with some information, but first, why don't the new guests introduce themselves to me? I'd love to know the guests visiting our campus.
Hello, headmistress. My name is Denmari. I'm a cleric following Trula.
It's nice to meet you, Miss Denmari.
You as well.
Hi everyone, I'm from Akia Forest and I've been traveling with August for some time.
It's nice to meet you, Suhan. Does Ashera want to introduce herself?
Hello, I'm
There
Ashira,
we
a
go.
deer fae from the forest north of Oflaria.
Welcome, Miss Ashera. Alright. She's gonna lean back in her chair, steepling her fingers. You all have come with some information, with some goings on in Priadan, correct? Feel free to fill me in.
Well, where to start? We've kind of been recruited by some of the gods to investigate like a corruption or a weakening in the gods' powers. And it seems to relate to the Great War and the gods' involvement in it. And so we were kind of wondering if you knew anything about whether any of the gods have some kind of significance in their past in this region.
She hums a little bit and then she nods. I believe that history states that once upon a time this was Obsidian's homeland. Well, not the Academy, of course, but Osmia.
The god of wealth.
Yes.
Is there anything like recently that's been happening in connection to Obsidian?
No, just the usual goings-ons with the gods that I assume Denmar and Oscar are familiar with. They haven't been manifesting as much, granting boons as much, as communicating as much with people as they used to as of the past couple months, but it's nothing been too alarming. The frequency has decreased, but it's not like they've altogether disappeared.
No, I mean, we've met with two of them in the last month or so.
You've met with two of the gods.
Yes, three in fact. We've met with Trilla, Freria, and Amorcio.
Oscar's gonna whisper under his breath, 3? And then Vitamina. I see. Well, that is possibly more alarming than the gods not appearing very much. I mean, traditionally gods usually only appear to their own followers. I know Miss Denmari here is a cleric of Trilla, so that wouldn't be that alarming, but appearing in front of all of you and beseeching you for help when you are not even of their principles is quite concerning. It's happened before for heroes to be sent on great quests for the gods, but they're usually demigods or very powerful people, disciples. But it's around the Great War. Before it, I had heard about gods beseeching mortals and demigods to go on quests. So that is why I am of some concern that it's suddenly happening again, but there are no rumors
We did
of
beat a
war and
demigod.
freedom. You beat a demigod!
We
That's
did.
also a little alarming. But how were you able to defeat a demigod?
I guess he wasn't in his best form at the time.
Why was he not in his
I mean, he had
best
just been
form?
reconstituted from dirt.
I see. That is alarming. I assume this is the demigod of Telra that you're speaking of?
Yes.
Okay.
He likes to go by the name Shadow now.
I see. I will make sure to address him as such if I ever meet him. It's quite alarming that a demigod could be in such a weakened state as to be defeated by a group of novice adventurers for gods, so many gods to be beseeching adventurers without much connection to the divine. I mean, I can only presume that random chance brought the gods to you, but I wonder why they're still wrapping you up in all of this and why they had to in the first place. Why they had to go to random choice.
We're at a loss to explain that any more than you, Miss Headmaster. I mean, in addition, less dramatic, I suppose, but more recently, we've seen ghost-like visions of people from our past, Oscar, myself, and Suhan, last night, and they appeared to be trying to give us a message, and in particular to direct us to the university. Like, has there been anything happening out of the ordinary here? At least since I've been away.
There has been a little bit out of the ordinary in the catacombs, but to my knowledge, August, please correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think your father is buried here, and I assumed your friend's grandfather wouldn't be buried here either.
No. My father died decades ago, and his grave is near Applor. In fact, he had no connection to the academy, as far as I'm aware.
Interesting. Must have just been his connection to you that brought him here, but I can't think of anything else going on with the undead. I do know there's unrest in the catacombs at the moment. For the rest of you, there is a set of catacombs underneath the university. It is several floors large, and the first layer of those are explored by students and professors. The lower levels are generally not in use. They're secured and nothing from that has broken. However, many experiments, practices, and anything involving the arcane in the first layer has been going awry recently. I've actually called most of the professors back to the university just to help me address the situation. And I hope you understand that although it's not a secret from the students, we haven't disseminated much information about it yet until we know exactly what's going on. However, I'm trusting you all with this information, knowing that it might be related to your quest, and I must respect the gods' will beyond my own. So I beseech you to keep it secret, but that is something that's going on at the moment. But I can't, you know, the only thing I can relate to it with yours is that the catacombs are related, could be related to the undead, and yours was too, but your family is not buried here.
No. I mean, would you let us go take a look down there?
I would allow you to go to the first floor as all the students are, but I cannot allow you to go any lower than that.
Why is that?
The lower levels of the catacombs are dangerous. The most we do is have a professor go briefly, or even for me to use my scrying magic, and with that she's going to wave a hand over the ball, and you're going to see a glimpse of kind of a dark corridor with a few skeletons bumbling around. We mostly watch from
Hear the
afar.
part. Sorry, did you not hear the part where we said we beat a demigod?
Yes, I did. I also heard that he was not at full capacity, which made it much more believable.
That's not as important.
It is. I assure you that if any of you knew the history of the gods or demigods, I mean, you are a cleric, so I am confused that you would say such things about people that could be the children of your own god. But yes, demigods are quite powerful, and I can't think of any reason that a novice adventurer would be able to beat one. Perhaps a group of very well-experienced adventurers could be a powerful demigod with cunning tricks, but I believe that it was just because he was weakened. I don't think that you all together are more powerful than a group of professors here that have trained for decades and decades on end. So
That is believable.
until I get confirmation of that, I'm not comfortable sending you farther.
Well, maybe we can start with that first floor then. Where have things been going awry, and what sort of things?
Well, as you know, August, we have many workshops and such set up down there. Items that are being made, spells that are being cast, they just sometimes don't work, and when they do, they seem to just not work as intended.
Is it everywhere in the lower floor, or is it localized to, like, is it worse in one area over another?
The main area I know of is the first floor. We have not attempted to go into the lower floors considering everything that's happening right now. And then within the first floor, it's really everywhere.
Can we help? And if so, what would you like us to do?
Well, I suppose you can just take a look and see if it relates to your quest in any sense.
August will turn to the others and kind of shrug open-handed. Anyone have any better ideas?
Nope. Sounds good to me.
We can take a look.
Okay.
It's the only lead.
Mhm.
If it's okay with you all, we'll wrap up a little early there then, because I wasn't expecting the catacombs so early, so I don't have stuff there prepped quite yet.
That's okay.
That's fine.
Alrighty.
Mhm.
So we'll wrap up there. Let me find somebody to raid. Also, Zero XP, thank you so much for the raid. I know that's so late, but I just realized I forgot to say it. Thank you guys for coming. Hope you guys had fun watching.
Thank you for DMing.
Thank you guys for playing. You guys are
Of
pog.
course.
Yippee!
Yippee!
We're gonna go raid Hamflo, who's playing Resident Evil, because that's really similar to D&D.
Mhm.
Sleepy is the most
I mean, we had
popular
horror
master.
themed stuff in this.
Thank
It's not bad.
Yeah!
Ghosts, yeah?
That was all just very normal. It's all very casual stuff.
Yeah.
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 So D&D will be back next week. Either with Party 1 or Party 2. We'll see. I have not scheduled the April sessions yet, but we're going to be playing the first 3 weeks of April. So if you guys are interested in keeping up, I'll see you guys next week. And if you want to catch up on the VODs, I have the link pinned or in my Discord. Does anybody have anything coming up on stream that you'd like to plug?
No.
Okay, guys, make sure to check out Ashi, Sayu, and Chai. They're all very cool Pog streamers. You can also check out Mr. Nico, but he doesn't stream. But you can go to his channel and just look if you'd like. Take a look at his blank profile picture. Is it still a blank profile picture?
I think so.
Amazing. Yes. He has a banner, but he doesn't have a profile picture.
I don't even remember setting that banner, actually.
Alright, thanks so much, everybody. Please take care. Bye bye. The next shooting star you see, wish me to be here. Bye bye. Wow.